saw my last video. Oh wait, you didn't see it? Well, here's a recap.
Process of, like every other live feathers, hoverboarding while sweeping the street.
Well, the overarching theme was that it took me about a month and a half to complete, primarily due to my intense love of wasting time. I tell you what, I am a proud citizen of the procrastination. Nation. But at the end of that video, I kind of backed myself into a corner by saying,
Stay tuned till next week to maybe see me make Kylie's dress.
and what do you know?
It's next week, so.
How quickly can I get this dress done? Well, let's do some calculation. This one took a month and a half. Dress number 2, carry the 12, square root of 12, divided by 5, inverted by 7. I think we... Is that a chicken? I thought you were in bed. I think we could complete... I think we can complete the whole thing in a day. Well, I don't necessarily think we can, I just know we have to. So stay tuned to see if I succeed. Also, stay tuned to find out why I woke up one morning between a tennis racket and a fedora.
Now let me take you all back in time to the very beginning of our 24-hour dressmaking period.
So I just woke up next to a tennis racket and a fedora, and I was so confused. And then the events of last night came flooding back to me. Here's the deal. I was asleep in bed. Everything was cool, everything was chill, everything was groovy, and then I just woke up and there was a bat flying overhead. And I don't want to be too much of a prima donna, but I find it just hard to chill and to sleep soundly in a room with a bat. This is your bat catching kit. This is the net, this is the tray. I always feel better when I wear a hat. Not self-esteem wise. Fedoras don't make anybody feel better self-esteem wise.
I just meant specifically when catching a bat, it always feels better to have your head covered. Upon initially entering the bedroom, I did not see the bat, but just look at the carnage, though. He totally made my bedroom a mess. That was all him.
I heard him and I saw him.
Oh, you saw him too?
Yeah. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Show yourself! I'm Batman.
He seems to like to strike when I'm sleeping, so going back to bed.
Sadly, we never caught the bat that night, but here's some footage of the last one we caught. His name was Augustus. We like to catch them, make sure they get a few good meals, and then send them off far away. Oh, and this one's name was Bruce. Anyway, you're probably wondering if I'm still going to make Kylie's dress. Well, I was wondering that too at this time, waiting on a wig to come in the mail, and then...
Marianne and I were having coffee on the porch when the mail woman brought this package. And I was just focused on
What's in the package?
oh my gosh, I really want that to be roller skates, but wait, I didn't order roller skates, so no, it can't be roller skates. And she asked a question, and I really wasn't paying attention to what she was asking, and so I just said no. And then as she walked away, it sunk in. She said, "Is that a little bird?" And I said,
No.
"A wig!" I want to try it on, but I know I won't like how it looks because I don't have makeup on, so.
And so I applied makeup and put on the wig, deciding that I would only make this dress if I liked how the wig looked on me, and unfortunately, I did. And so now I had to make a whole nother dress, another whole dress. When making a pattern for this dress, logic would dictate that I would look at a picture of Kylie's dress while doing it, but I don't support dictators, logic or otherwise. So instead of consulting her picture, I consulted a mood board I had created of things that reminded me of her dress. And I mean, this one was especially helpful. Just look at the pose, look at the arm, look at the hands. Getting this dress to the perfect shade of purple required layering 3 fabrics on top of one another. To make this dress, I again made a mock-up, but this time using the method of draping. And while doing so, I really should have looked at least one picture of Kylie from the Met Ball, but you know, there was just no time. Remember, we've got 1 day to get this done, because 1 day is the perfect amount of time, because all of the best things in history happened within 1 day. Like,
This is where I would or should try the mock pieces on and make sure they fit and then make adjustments before I cut it out of our fancy fabric, but I have an inflexible arbitrary time limit.
to construct this dress, you basically just have to copy all of the steps I explained in the Kendall dress. I know, I didn't actually explain any of them. But the difference in the silhouette of this one is that I really exaggerated the inward curve of the waist in every panel, hoping to use a mixture of that, boning, and a lace-up back to really deceive my audience into thinking I have an hourglass figure like Kylie's. I recall around this hour of my project, I was overtaken with the desire to go on a short, simple run, but I knew that I couldn't, because with me, there's never really such a thing as a short, simple run, because the run will invariably turn into a dance or a nature appreciation session. Or if it goes anything like my last run, it'll turn into me going home and making a short film about a ladybug I found in a puddle. Everyone, please enjoy the world premiere of And now back to the dress. We're going to bestow upon it a lace-up back. To assemble the lace-up back, I took some ribbon and tied knots in it about a Jolly Rancher's width apart, then pinned them down about a half a Jolly Rancher's width apart, and sewed across all of the knots. Filled with joy over the nearing end of my project, I decided to finally actually look at a picture of Kylie's dress, and mine was just definitely
the least exciting to look at.
Yeah, that neckline wasn't even remotely similar, so I had to get creative. Rather than go back to square one and start over, which would render obsolete my plan to finish this whole dress in one day, I just layered a few strips of fabric, sewed them into a tube, and then sneezed into my voiceover microphone. Then I put that pretty purple ribbon through those pretty purple holes, and forgot to film myself sewing a strip of flesh-colored fabric to the top edge of each side of the dress.
Oh wow, that's really...
Yeah, so this is the hem right now. And we're going to fix that hem the same way they fixed all the plot holes in the series Pretty Little Liars. Meaning we're not going to fix it, we're just going to cover it up with a lot of drama. I bought these 3 feather boas off of Amazon, or as my dad would probably call it, www.amazon.com. He always does that when he's trying to tell me about a website to go to. He says, go to www. Sorry, this is beside the point. And now to make those giant puffy things eating her arms. Grab a piece of fabric, then cut out 2 doubled up squares about the size of a vinyl album case. Then fold over and sew all along the top and bottom edge, creating a channel for some elastic to go through. After you've threaded through and tied off the elastic, it should look something like this. The next morning I intended to finish my project immediately, but was distracted by these cicadas and then the idea that I just had to make a short film about them. Desiring to fill my time in a purposeful manner, but unsure of which path to take, I asked my father's advice.
What you doing?
Making a card for my buddy Blake.
Do you think I should make a short film about cicadas?
I think that would be good.
Card looks good.
Thank you.
Their love was revolutionary. Some stared. Some ignored it. Some ran away in disgust, and some... But the widowed cicada found love again. Just look at how that bat kisses her. Yeah, so admittedly that was a little bit of a bummer. And I do want you guys to walk away from my videos feeling uplifted, so here, detox your system with some clips of my dad going all out for his coworker's birthday.
Must be a great coworker.
Oh man, he's the best.
Back to our project. Before gluing feather boas to these glorified bracelets, you're going to want to stuff them with fabric. Because I did try this step first without doing so, and it was about as efficient as my nephew trying to eat eggs with a fork. Coil the feather boa around its prey as though it were a giant boa constrictor. Oh my gosh, do you think that's why they're called boas? Because they're like, you wrap them around yourself as if it was a giant boa constrictor and as though you were like a helpless baby deer?
Now to get that Met Gala Glow. I found this at a thrift store for $2, so that's kind of questionable. Okay, we're gonna set you aside to do this because I don't want to get any of this on you. Though, I'm not gonna lie, I have had a long-running fantasy of coloring him brown just from the neck down, not his face, because then he would look like a... Okay, well, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna see if you can guess. I'll give you a hint. Oh, that was unhelpful. Let me try again. This might help. Do you see it now? You look like a little bald eagle. Okay. It's okay, he's fine. We do this a lot. He's totally okay. And I actually would not color him either. Please don't call child services. Oh. And when putting it on the face, you always want to blend it with a little bit of face moisturizer and make sure you blend really well. You don't want stark white circles around the eye holes because you don't want to look like... I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Sorry. And to get the fake tan off of your fingers, you want to immediately rinse it off. Grab a toothbrush, your own or someone else's. It'll have the same effect. And the next time you brush your teeth, you'll get nice sun-kissed tan teeth. Now to do some Kylie Jenner makeup. But I have been saying hi to the mailwoman every day for the past week, and I don't want to miss a day because she might get concerned about me.
Especially since during our last encounter, I seemed to deny that my bird was a bird, so she's probably already concerned.
So we're gonna do this on the porch.
I missed her. I won't be home tomorrow. There. Now achieving Kylie's makeup look will require depleting about half of your makeup stash and doing so flawlessly.
Now, one of Kylie's signature things is just highlighting like her whole cheek and then dabbing a little bit of blush on there. Now sorry, my neighbors were on the porch right next to mine and I just got a little bit uncomfortable. Now there are 3 steps to getting Kylie Jenner's signature lips. Step 1, grab a famous family. You're gonna wanna be part of a famous family. Step 2, get filthy rich. Step 3, get lip fillers and deny it for 2 years, claiming that you simply overline your lip and then ultimately just acknowledge it. But if those steps aren't available to you, here's some makeup hacks to achieve the Kylie Jenner lip. Before,
Here I am lowering my hairline in preparation for the wig, and now
Now to try on the dress. Don't take the over to Chipotle.
Ready to go. There's nothing in there.
Oh. Bye.